Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese and welcome back to the wonderful world of the Twilight Forest, where today we're taking a break from Twilight Foresty things to do some techity things. Now, we do eventually need to go jump up on the Hydra's back, and we do eventually need to return to Hell and try to figure out what to do there, and we do eventually need to say thank you to today's executive producer, Lucky Lou Dog, over on the Patreon, patreon.howdyfolks.net. Thank you so much for your support. You can also be a channel member. I don't know if we've talked about this. I don't think we have in this series, but we did unlock channel memberships. If you just want access to, some videos get released early, which is cool and fun. You just want to support the channel. You don't have to leave YouTube, but it should still give you Discord access if it's working properly. Maybe sign up and let me know if that worked. Or you could go to the Patreon, there's some different tiers there and things. But a big shout out to all of our supporters, be they channel members or executive producers on the Patreon, as it were. Today, we're going to be focusing on a few different things. First off, I want to make a better fuel to power the quarry, and I had an idea for that. We're going to go over that. I accidentally made a useless material here. Where is it? Aluminum brass. If you wanted to make a mold and you didn't want to use gold, you could use aluminum brass, which is a combination of aluminum and copper. I made this by accident because I didn't really remember it being a thing, and I was just throwing a whole bunch of stuff in here. By the way, you can just hover over the empty space here and it'll tell you that this will hold 576 ingots, which is crazy, and that's 82 buckets worth of material. In case you were curious, that's madness. It's a great way, though, to smelt up a whole lot of stuff in one go. We're not going to put more aluminum in there. We actually need to get everything out. I did realize that the corner block wasn't working, even though I thought for sure it would. I don't know where I got that idea from, but I just moved these back here temporarily. So if we need to get an entire block out, although I think I've already basically gotten all of those out. So what we're at now is just taking out individual ingots one at a time. You got to wait for them to cool and then drain them out. And we could add more of these if we wanted to. I think you could even put them at a higher level. I cannot remember, though, whether or not that affects whether or not you can drain them. Like, surely this needs to be as low as possible. But then again, maybe not. I don't know. At the end of the day, you folks probably know better than I do. We got ingots stuck in there, which is frustrating. You know what? We can use some of that molten aluminum brass to create an ingot mode. And then that way we can get those things out of there, because I really don't want to be stuck with little bits of ingot. But that's not really what we're going to do today. What we are going to do is have a look at the new way by which we get to the mines. Check that out. Check it out again. Now, initially, it didn't work. I think it has a limit of like 20 blocks that it can pass through. And normally, when I'm in a mod pack that's been crafted by someone, I just stick with whatever their defaults are. I try not to change things because they have made a pack with a particular experience in mind. And while you're free to change whatever you want to, it's Minecraft. You make the game yours. At the end of the day, I understand that there's a tailored experience they had in mind that I don't really want to mess with by going in there and making those sorts of alterations, because it might kind of mess things up late game, might make things too easy or too difficult. But open blocks, which is where we get these elevators from, they're not a part of Tekkit. They were added by a mysterious entity who lives in ruins over there. So I figured I could probably safely go ahead and get rid of that limitation, which does mean that we can go all the way up here in one go now. I guess we're kind of crafting our own experience, or rather there's a mysterious entity crafting it for us. But I did have to come over here and add additional barrels to keep everything running, because as you can see, these have filled up. And now that I'm looking at it, this is pretty close to filling up as well. I mean, it's not close at all, but now that the two of these are full, it's only a matter of time here. So this has a little bit further to go because the second one hasn't even filled up yet. And it looks like they're freezing on occasion. That's great. We love to see that little bit of latency there. I did leave the ladder, as well as the vines, because I like to have a way to get up and down in case something catastrophic happens and for whatever reason the elevators don't work anymore. But I'll have to bring another barrel over here. I do get tired of the charcoal, though. However, I was looking at the energy collector. You might remember previously we used the energy collector to do some transmutation, and I learned that you can do other types of transmutation. For instance, if we take our charcoal, we can turn that into redstone. Redstone can be turned into coal, And that might not seem very interesting, but if you go down the line, eventually you can get to alchemical coal. And what's interesting about this is that these things are worth more than the base material, right? Like, yes, we could, using the Philosopher's Stone and coal, make alchemical coal, 4 coal to an alchemical coal. But using the energy collector, it collects energy to make up the EMC difference, meaning that we can start with charcoal, and if we're patient and willing to let it sit there and collect EMC, we could eventually turn that charcoal, that single piece of charcoal, into an Aeternalis fuel block. Now, not saying we're going to do that exact thing here today. Oh, also, apparently you can make these shoot sideways. I don't know quite how that works, but you can, like, do a fast travel instead of just up and down to the side, like to the left or right, which is wacky. We'll have to look into that maybe in the future. I don't know exactly how that works. Anyway, I've got patience. I'm willing to wait it out, so I'm willing to go ahead and take the charcoal that we've been collecting. If we could just collect charcoal en masse, you know, and have it converted into sort of higher quality objects. Also, we could make more of these. We could absolutely make more of these. But what we need to do is go ahead and... Why do I have a stack of redstone? Maybe my plan when I started recording was to just start at the redstone phase. But I actually want to start here at the charcoal and see how quickly that goes. So there we go. Oh, it's automatic. It just automatically self-cycles. Maybe that's what this over here indicates. We were confused about what this indicated before, but now I think we get the general idea. It has nothing to do with this filling up. It's how long it's going to take until this operation completes. That is very, very interesting. I like this a lot. Now, of course, we could make this go by faster if we had more of these. Of course, at that point, we could also just make a power flower. That's a little bit, maybe a bridge too far. That kind of gets into the... It's not cheating. It's an actual game mechanic, so it isn't cheating. But it feels cheat-y. Whereas this, if we just leave this to cook, eventually we'll come back and we'll have some high-powered fuel, which I like the idea of. So it's going to go from gunpowder, and then the next thing up from that, the next thing up from coal, let's just see. Okay, well, it's going to take a while. So if we have a look at the uses, it's going to become glowstone, alchemical coal, and then a block of redstone, blaze rod, a block of coal. We could also take blocks of coal or charcoal up there, and those would run for a long time, but I kind of like the idea of just sort of boosting, using energy from the sky, kind of what we got going on here. That gets us to glowstone, that gets us to Mobius, gets us to alchemical coal block, Aeternalis fuel, Mobius fuel, Aeternalis fuel block, which can burn for 921,600 ticks. I like the idea of it. This is going to take forever doing that. Practically speaking, we're probably never going to actually get that done. So an alternative would be to go ahead and we could just grab some regular old coal while we're waiting, you know. Not saying we're giving up here. What I am saying is that we could make 15 alchemical coal. And then we could make, you know, 3 Mobius, and actually we're kind of stuck at that point. We can't go any further, which is unfortunate. We'll leave these behind. I'd like to get one more, but I'm all out of actual real vanilla coal. We'd have to go mine more. Speaking of, the other thing I wanted to do today, in addition to kind of everything we just talked about, was I wanted to build a better hammer, and also I remember why I had the stack of redstone. Can you do that? Hold on just a second. Does that work here as well? No. That's fine. I wanted to make the hammer, or not our hammer, sorry, our pickaxe faster. Now, we did not build the pickaxe in the tool forge. You might recall we built it inside the tool station, but it's fine. We can do this in the tool forge just fine. Won't hurt anything. But what we actually want to do is we want to have 50 redstone, and that'll take us from haste to haster, and that will remove one of our available modifiers and leave us with 2, but it'll also make this thing quite a bit faster. We're going to go from a speed of 15 to 20, which is going to be great, and I think we could do that again if we wanted to, but we're not going to. There might be other things we want to add later, although as we continue to mine things, it's only going to get better. It's only going to continue to level up, which is a great time. But now I want to build one of these. This is going to make clearing out big mining tunnels a whole lot faster. I believe this digs by default in a 3x3, and I think you might be able to improve it to dig in a wider area, maybe, but we're going to need a tough tool rod, a hammer head, and some large plate. Now, been trying to figure out exactly what we're going to use for this, and I thought we'd kind of just go off of what we did here, you know? What if we use the knightly material, the bronze, and the wooden tough tool rod? That kind of worked out for this arburator. Also, I'll throw out there that this thing is fully repaired, and this thing is almost fully repaired. So the things that we've added to it to automatically repair itself are doing a decent enough job. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Even the arburator is a little bit better than it was previously, so that's good to see, but we're still kind of clumsy with it as well, just throwing that out there. Now, what we want to look at here is definitely that wooden tough tool rod, because I can't think of really anything better for that. Can I use wood? Have I already tried this? Oh, you absolutely can. You can do that. There you go. And you also get some additional wood shard with it. And of course, with wood shard, I mean, there's no end to the things you can do. You can make a shard cast. What? Is that different than a nugget cast, I'm assuming? I actually have no idea. Why do you want a shard cast? I'll tell you what, I'm not doing anything right now, though. We might as well go ahead and take this opportunity to make one. For that, we're going to go ahead and use the molten aluminum brass. Seems like the best bet. And then I have no idea what we'll do with shards, but if we ever need them, we can make them now, and that's fun. What else did I say we were going to need? Oh, right, the hammerhead. Now, for the hammerhead, we've got some different options. If we have a look at Material in You, which has leveled up, I don't know if we've talked about it, but it has the high oven. I've still not figured out why you want this. The high oven smelts raw materials into liquids and supports doing black magic science to make steel. That's fun and interesting. But what? I have to figure that out later. For right now, we're going to focus on the materials we're going to use for the head. And, I mean, we could just do the same thing we did here on the arburator and go with bronze, and I think I will. So we will need the hammer head pattern, and we will go ahead and put that inside of our part builder with, again, a bit of wood. How many does it need? I can't actually tell. Give me more wood. Oh, I built more of these. I don't know if I talked about that, but I have more barrels now, which has come in handy. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, it was there. Oh, you just have to close it and reopen it. Interesting. Well, that'll give us our wooden hammerhead, which will plop down in there, and then it should still have the molten aluminum brass, but only 6 nuggets. Well, how many will it take? More than that, unfortunately. That sucks. That means I have to intentionally make more molten aluminum brass. I think I've already got the bronze in there, so maybe if I just get, like, one more aluminum... You know what? Why do the ingot when we can do the actual ore? Let's see here what we get. Wow, it does melt up pretty quick, don't it? So that should start turning into the molten bronze, and then the molten silver. Do they need to be next to each other for this to work? Oh, you know what? I think molten aluminum might actually be copper. Yeah, okay, we need to go ahead and get all the bronze out. Forget it. Let's just add more copper. You know what? That'll do it. That'll get the job done. That's got to be enough copper that whatever else is in here ought to be... Oh, it's going to offset with the... You know what? We should have took the 10 out while we had the chance. Hold on. There we go. Ugh. Still, some of that's going to combine with some of the remaining 10 nuggets, and that's fine. Well, it is what it is. We can live with it. There we go. Molten aluminum brass. I don't know why you could use that or gold. I guess maybe, in a sense, you know what? No, definitively, molten aluminum brass is easier to get your hands on because aluminum and bronze are both far more plentiful in the world. I'd rather just have the gold, baby. I can do more with that, and I also don't know why I said it like that. There's our bronze, though. We've got 3 ingots worth, and something tells me that this is going to require more than that. It requires 8, so more copper and tin is needed. We don't really have a whole lot in here. We got... Oh, well, you know what? We have we have an awful large amount of copper dust, so that's helpful. But I'm not seeing 10. That's 10 right there. Okay. So slowly that will convert to our bronze. We're going to have more bronze than we know what to do with, and I'm okay with it. Go ahead. I did have bronze at the bottom there, right? I am casting a bronze... Yes, good. Hammerhead. Fill up and cool. I suppose the next thing we'll need are the 2 plates. And remember, for the Arburator, we went ahead and used the Nightly Tough Bindings, and I'd like to do that again, but we only have the 4 Night Metal Ingots. And Night Metal isn't the easiest thing to come across. You basically have to go, like, find it in the world. You have to get the armor shards, and the only place we know to get those are from fighting the goblins back in hell. Why do I still have this in my inventory? We should go ahead and put this thing down. Also, I'd be interested in returning with this. Oh, that's creepy. That one's creepier than that one. We're going to need to relocate all of these. You're not supposed to be able to break these. Oh, well, fantastic. Look at that. Now I can't. How come my thinking was if we returned to the first one with the pedestal, and we put the pedestal back down, and then put a head on it, would that lift the curse? But I can see now that it's now stuck where I've put it forever. Maybe the mysterious entity can help us with this. You're not supposed to be able to break these, and the fact that we could break one in the first one we went into was, oh gosh. We could probably get rid of the I watched you sleep sign. The mysterious entity is an oddball, leaving things like this around. Like, hey, I'm going to watch you sleep and leave a sign telling you I watched you sleep, but also I'm going to put mods in your game, lol. Anyway, do we want to go back and try to farm the goblins so that we can get some more of these armor shards? Is that what we want to try to do, so that we can make this tool out of that? Or do we want to try to find an alternative material, one that's maybe a little bit more plentiful? Speedier in the Twilight Forest if we use Steel Leaf. We could just use Steel Leaf. Steel Leaf is something that we're not hurting for. It's something that we find relatively frequently. We got 26 of the darn things, and we might have more in this chest, because I think I've mixed them up across 2 different places. I haven't. You know what? If it's a horrible mistake, we can make an additional, we can make an additional shovel. Or hammer, I should say. So I don't know if it really matters. Does this need to be melted down? No, it doesn't. Material value, 26. How many is required? Probably 8? Yeah. So it's going to be 16. And then we got to exit and come back in to actually grab them. Got that over there. Mining level of diamond. So mining level, what range of block a tool with a tool head of this material can mine? Well, we're not building a tool head out of it. We're building a sort of extra piece, which will give us the 90 durability. I can't even remember now why exactly we used night metal. What did that give us? Speedier in the Twilight Forest, as well as hitting an entity can make you feel emboldened. I don't need that. Handle modifier of 1.25. It's not going to be... Oh, the durability is crazy, though. 400 versus 90? I mean, a tool like this... I didn't mean to do that! I was coming to take that out! Oh, no. Well... Gosh darn it, we'll go ahead with it, I guess. We can make another one. It's not that big a deal. It's not permanent. We can make as many of these as we want. We are not bound by any rules that say we must make a certain number of these. So we'll go ahead and make this one, and we will call it Ham Har Har Har, because we're all laughing about what a mistake I've made here. Great. Let's see if we can make some mending moss for it. This is why it's a good thing we came back with all of these vines, right? And planted them all over the place, so I can just get mending moss as I please. So was it that, and then that, and then that. There we go. And then you know what? We probably also want to go ahead and make it faster by a little ways. So we'll toss it back in here. What else can we add to it? We can just add a plate to make it tougher, something like that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't we do that to this? Didn't we add something to this? Like we added an additional bit of durability somehow? I know it's ridiculous that I can't remember things that I did mere episodes ago, but such is my life. Modifiers. Right, you can add diamonds, and that'll give you extra durability, minor stat increase, mining level increase by 1 up to obsidian. Reinforced plate. Adds a chance to not consume durability. Yeah, okay, I remember that now. Well, for right now, we could just go ahead and use a diamond. We do have some. I went mining. We're going to go back down into the mines today, so I'll show you the mining I've been doing. But right now we only have 3 modifiers. We will get more. Can I add more than 1 at a time? That'll add the mending moss. That will add the 50. I'm just going to put the 50 in there, although it shouldn't use more than that. The mining speed is still not going to be great. The mining speed is still not going to be great, but we are going to have more speed in the Twilight Forests. +2. That's not a whole lot. It's better than nothing. Bonus speed +20%, you know, we're adding some stuff to it. It's getting a little bit better. You know, that durability is going from 800 to a little over 1,000. We're going from a diamond to an obsidian mining level. Worth it. Absolutely worth it. Our new Ham Har Har. Let's get rid of some stuff. We also need to go find some more coal, so maybe we can do that while we are down in the mines. Mining away! The vines are getting out of control down here, but I started a new branch going in this direction, and if we break out our handy-dandy divining rod, maybe we'll chance upon some more diamonds, which are Reese's best friend? No? Okay, well, let's just start digging then. And actually, you know what we'll do? We'll do this. We're going to go back to the beginning, because this is going to be the start of a whole new branch line, right? Going in this direction. So I'm going to break that torch. And I'm going to go ahead and break this ring around here. So we start with a nice... Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby! A whole new mining operation has just opened up. Okay, everything's a little bit broken. That's all right. Let's make sure that we leave behind some torches so that we won't get ourselves lost in the darkness. I like these bigger passageways. They're a little bit less claustrophobic, if you will. But let's see what we find to either side, see if anything sort of piques our interest. Otherwise, we'll just keep going forward. Now, currently, remember, you hit G to change this. I've got it set to by 16 mode, because I don't want to check and find diamonds and then, you know, realize that they are the full 64 blocks away. That would be irritating. So we're going to press on here, and I can already see their durability of that thing dropping like crazy. But at least the head of the tool is a nice, simple, easy-to-get material. Hey, look at diamonds. Oh, no. That's going to happen from time to time. It's not going to mine this stuff up, which is upsetting. Ooh, water. Okay, well, that's probably a good enough sign, a good enough indication for me that we've gone far enough and should probably think about doubling back, placing down some torches before things start spawning in behind us, and focusing on collecting those diamonds. Now, one thing I've been doing is trying to keep the floors level, because it just makes traversing your mine later on a little bit easier if you do that. So that's why I'm doing it, as well as just filling in the holes to the side. You know, even if you come back later, better to have a smooth tunnel. Nobody wants some weird jagged shaft, you know? You want the shaft to be nice and smooth. This also gives me an additional use for all of this stone here. All of this cobblestone. Of course, we can also put it in the smeltery and then cast it into bricks and build more seared brick if we wanted to. And I could see us do... Right there! Right there! We would have never noticed because we were mining at this one specific level. We would have never been kind of clued into the fact that that was there until we've sort of strip mined all this out. It's not really strip mining, though, is it, what we're doing? Well, you know what I mean. Once we've mined it all out and there's nothing left, we could have moved up a couple levels and started mining up there. And there we go. Got all this mined out. I think this is probably how I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the near future, because I really want to find a bunch of diamonds so that we can make a bunch of really cool stuff. And, you know, we just need diamonds to be prepared for the journeys ahead. There's gold that direction. Well, you know what? We might as well. Anyway, it would be great to have this moving faster. One thing I'm curious about, though, is XP. So right now it says 456 out of 4,500. So 456, does it go to 457? Or... Ooh, okay, so it is each individual block that counts. Handy. That's also probably why it's such a high number. That's not arbitrary. Was that silver, or was that... Yeah, that's silver, I think. It is a shame that it doesn't mine up certain materials, because that does mean I have to double back and cut the rest of this down, but it would be cool if there was something we could build to make it do that. I would like to, when it levels up, either make it faster by adding more redstone, or add some additional durability, and it kind of depends on... I think as I continue to use this tool, I'll start to figure out whether or not having to go upstairs and repair it is enough of a pain for me to want to have it be sturdier and more durable, or whether or not just having it be a lot faster. I mean, eventually we'll level it up twice and we can do both, but that's a ways off. Also, my inventory is full, mostly of cobblestone. We did say we needed more coal, and here it is. We could just use the big hammer. Yeah, I don't know why we aren't. Why are we individually mining these things out? Then again, you know what? I mean, it's gonna get worse the sort of deeper into the earth we go, but as of right now, just running back to here, popping back up, dropping things off, and then, you know, very quickly heading back down. That's not too bad. The elevator really does make all the difference in the world, and we could rig up some kind of system where we could use a bag, like an ender bag, to have things go automatically into a matched ender chest, which then automatically drains out into sort of a larger holder, like a larger container of some kind, a big chest of some kind, and we could have just like an automated drop-off like that, and we could stay down here for ages, except for the Har Har Har. Although, there are ways to repair it down here as well, so much to determine, much to sort out, but now what we can do is we can walk along this direction, checking within 16 blocks to see if at any point we spot diamonds. There's definitely either... in any direction, really. Oh, yep, right there. So on through here we go. Probably shouldn't have broke the one that had, you know, the torch on it that we need. But let's go. We got diamonds ahead of us. We know that they're going to be within 16 blocks. And also we know... There's the diamonds, by the way. If we keep going, we should break into a branch tunnel. Or, I guess we're in a branch tunnel, and we're going to break back into the main tunnel? However that works? Maybe? Maybe not? Maybe I'm confused about where the mine on the other side of this wall is. Yep, might be a little bit turned around. Feel like we should have made it by now. That's okay. My inventory is already full again. I did not empty out anything but the cobblestone before, so that's probably why. Check it. Got that. Got that. Take those up there later. Each one of those should be worth... So 4 of these is 4 of those. Oh. It's only like 16. Yeah, never mind. I was going to go replace the charcoal up there with these, but that's... Not right now, at least. Maybe when we have more than, like, 1 each. You know what you shouldn't do is do mining underground while listening to an episode of the Creepcast. Because that's just asking to be disturbed, and I don't recommend it. Don't do it. You're not going to like... anything that happens as a result of those actions. I, again, cannot express to you how much I do not advise doing that. Especially when Minecraft already has these weird little creepy sound effects that keep going off every so often. Don't do it. It's not good for your soul. Hey! There we go! See, I knew this was over here somewhere, and I think if we had kept going, funny enough, we're not that far off from one of the other tunnels, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, we're going to keep going until we get there to prove that I'm not crazy. There it is! We were so close! Oh man, this is like some sort of a metaphor for something. I don't know what, though. I don't know. Don't let your dreams be dreams or something like that. I don't know. Alright, once again, inventory full of stuff. Go ahead and tuck it all away inside of there. And over here, we can get ourselves... We got molten bronze, so go ahead and get some ingots of that. That's not what I meant to do. I didn't want to make another molten bronze hammer. Or, like, another... Well, you know what? It doesn't matter, because we're making another one, and I can't do anything about it. It's just happening back there, because I'm a buffoon. Let's go ahead and correct that real quick, so I don't make that same mistake again, once that's done drying. I guess if we ever do want to make another hammer, we have the parts for it now, so we'll just toss that in there. But then if we want to repair this, just get ourselves some bronze, and 1 bronze right now is enough to top off the whole thing. Pretty decent. Our supply is growing quite nicely. We got a nice little assortment of things in here. We need to start processing stuff out of here, though, because it's getting a little out of hand. We have 4 blocks of molten bronze in there. Go ahead and extract those as blocks. I think that does it for now, though. I'm going to keep doing some mining, having some fun, just passing the time as one does. And until next time, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.